today is a day that is normally a rest day for most people, but it's pretty much a work day for me, like being in campus ministry. Sometimes I have to preach, sometimes I have to go do these other things in the morning, but the evenings are typically with students. So I just got ready for this evening. We got our first ministry team meeting of the semester, which is always crazy. Because it's just the beginning, right? And you're like, all right, this is what we have to do. We got to do this. That can seem a little overwhelming sometimes, but I'm really hopeful for this evening, and I think it'll be good. I think my biggest thing for students is to, like, yes, there are big expectations, but also there's going to be a lot of support behind those big expectations. So communicating that well is key, I believe. And so, yeah, we got a whole bunch we're going to do this semester, but I'm super excited for it. And, yeah, look forward to this evening. See you next. So, yeah, we're back. Also, there's this creepy truck just passing by, just kind of watching me. But that's beside the point. We're back. And, yeah, it's Tuesday, I believe. And, man, it's already been a crazy week. Had students move in this past weekend. I believe I talked about that on the last vlog. Students moved in this past weekend, so we got all that. Got ministry team rocking and rolling. And yeah, it's always so crazy beginning the year, because it's like that thing of, all right, we got to start over essentially, and we have to rebuild. And not in a bad way, but just like, starting a new year, and there's just rebuilding and starting a new year. But, doing that, it requires a lot of patience. A lot of patience for sure. And I think for me, like, the biggest thing is just trying to stay in the moment, not trying to rush, not trying to go anywhere else, but just being present where we're at right now. So that's where we're at. Yeah, so I'm about to go to the office because I've already worked out. I got the coffee. You all know I got to go to Cool Beans because that's my spot now. Kat, my wife, for the longest time was like, yo, you got to go to Cool Beans. And I was like, I don't know. We'll see. And, well, I've converted. And it's good. I'm not going to lie. And I get a lot of caffeine. So that's always great. Anyway, moving on to the next one. See y'all next. So, just got home. It's 10:17 at night. And, yeah, it's been a long day. Like, super long. And, yeah, that's just kind of how it is. We had an event tonight at the Wesley, so, nights like these are super long, and I think for me, I love them, they're awesome, but also they're just long, and it's they're just long. It's just part of it, and I think for me, it's going to be challenging to continue to record and to, like, do all the podcasts and all the videos that I do. However, I'm still very much committed to it, and I look forward to doing it. And, I hope that I can encourage you along the way. I think that's like the biggest thing for me is people seeing my life, seeing, all the ins and outs, right? Or at least the parts I'm willing to show, because some parts that I'm not sharing everything because there has to be some privacy. But I think the biggest thing for me is just showing that, like, yeah, I got stuff too, but, like, I'm still making that time to create and to do the things. And I'm still enjoying life in the meantime and, getting things done and still being responsible. So I hope this encourages you, and we'll move on to the next one. It's Thursday, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired. It's been a long week, and I think for me, like, one of the biggest things that's really hard in, like, ministry, and specifically, like, campus ministry, is just, you want to do certain things, and you want to do good things. Like, for me, I always want to be good. I want to be the best. I always want folks to feel like they're loved and cherished and all the things. And, man, sometimes it's just frustrating. Sometimes you don't have all the answers. Sometimes you don't have all the resources. To be honest, it's an emotional journey.
because what you're doing is a service to other people, and you want to give them the best. You want them to have like the best experience. And so for me, with college students, like, man, all I want is the best for them. And yeah, it sometimes just not go. It just doesn't go the way I want it to, and that can be really discouraging, really frustrating. Like I've already said, we had an event last night. Good event. It was great. Just little things that, and it's probably just me. It is me. Like the little things I want, or little things I'm expecting, or things I feel like I've, conveyed that I kind of wanted, or wanted us to do, or whatever it is, right? Like, my students are great. My staff is great. They're awesome. I just think I'm just a hard head sometimes, and I can admit that. It's just I want the best for us. And if you come in my life, if you are a person that does life with me, like I want you to have the best. And I'm not gonna shrink myself. I'm not going to decrease my value. I'm not going to decrease what I'm going to offer to you for the sake of you feeling good. Like, I think my biggest thing is, like, I'm going to serve you, and I'm going to serve you the way that, like, I feel called to do. Not in the sake of, not in the sense of, like, I don't care about your opinion. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. I'm not trying to, like, bombard you or, make you feel less than. That is not the intent at all. I just want to serve well, and I think sometimes I feel like that's overshadowed just because of other things getting in the way. So, I don't know. I guess I'm swallowing some pride between last night and this morning, and it's hard. It's difficult, but it's okay. That's part of life. And I'm just sharing that with you guys. So, see you next time. And we have made it to the end of the week. And yes, I'm so thankful. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. I think I've talked about it a little bit. And, I think like the biggest thing for me is like sometimes it's just getting through it and pushing myself to get through it, and making myself push to get through it. Like it's just, sometimes it's just not fun. But I think the biggest thing for me is, the fact that we made it, we got everything done, with me being a campus minister, there's just so many different like moving parts. And so like getting through a first like week of school and everything that it encompasses, from, the first event, doing our training. That's why we did our training week like a week or so ago. And, doing, just prepping for the first event, making sure we got food at the house, making sure there's, drinks, making sure, everybody knows their role, making sure we got stuff ready for tabling, like all these different things. And, even getting ready for worship the next week. And there are a lot of thoughts, there are a lot of opinions. And I think one of the hardest things for me is to make sure that I remember that at the end of the day, I am the director. And that's that. I think a lot of times you can get in these like type of positions where you're working with college students and they are younger adults, and therefore they're adults, they can make their own decisions, but also you have to remember that you're the one in charge. And for me, somebody that likes to be very inclusive of people's opinions, I have to be super careful not to allow that to form my opinion or allow their opinions to make decisions for me. I have to make informed decisions, very well thought out, very much thinking about everybody and not just, a few. And so, yeah, just doing that was huge. Like, it is always big in terms of how in the world am I going to get, all these 18 to 20 something year olds to work together, and how can I make sure they have the best semester possible? How can I make sure that I'm a good leader? How can I make sure that they know that I love them, I care for them, but also that no fighting, like just please, for the love of God, like let's just not fight. But also that doesn't mean be non-confrontational. I think that's like another thing that people try to run away from is that confrontation piece. But for me, I'm like, no, we gotta we gotta handle this. We gotta talk about this. And so I try to be very, very real, very confrontational, but also very loving, very kind, and understanding as well. So I think for me, this past week was it's a big test because it's the first week and emotions are high. We got sophomores, juniors, seniors all on leadership, and that brings up various amounts of emotions. Some people are just getting started in their leadership journey. Some are in the middle and they're, they figured it out, and then you got some that are at the end that they can either become super like dismissive and kind of, I'd say like detached, or they're like digging their heels in and they're not trying to let things go. So being careful with that is like super important. Anyway, I think the biggest thing for me is that I'm glad I can be in this space with them and teach them and love them, but also it can be a lot sometimes. But anyway, whether or not I do more after this, we'll see. But until next time. All right, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm hoping that this is recording, and if it is, I'm gonna keep that like in this video. But yeah, this is day 2 orientation. I don't think I did anything to start the day yesterday. I'll see when I edit, but that's besides the point. Anyway, day 2 orientation, new student orientation. For those of you that don't know, I am a seminary student as well as a director of the Wesley Foundation, and yeah, I wear a lot of hats. But I think for me, this is a big step for me. Like, I'm here at Candler, here at Emory in Atlanta, and yeah, it's a big step. It's a big move for me. My wife really encouraged me to transfer here. I was already going to a different seminary, but I decided to transfer here because I felt like this was the better place for me. I felt like God was leading me to come here. He was leading me kicking and screaming, but yeah, I really felt led to come here. Like, I felt like this is the place I need to be. And so far, so good. Granted, it's just long right now because it's orientation. And so, like, for me, I'm really just, like, met with the fact that I truly don't know everything. Like, I already knew I didn't know everything, but like here is like, I don't know the staff, I don't know the people, I don't even know my classmates, and really just stepping into the unknown and what that looks like. And I think for me, like, the biggest thing is just being, positive or optimistic rather, and allowing myself to be to be in a moment, to be present and not force anything, not be a pessimist and be like, here we go, I gotta start over, but just truly like being here and being present. So I'm looking forward to everything that we do, and today's a long day because they got us on buses. Help. Send help, please. Anyway, I'm just looking forward to it, and I'll see y'all on the next one. So we are back. It is Friday, August 22nd, and it's my birthday. So yeah, it's been a long week, man. I don't even think I recorded anything yesterday because of how tired I was. Like, I've literally I've been to and fro all week. I've been in Atlanta all week for my orientation here at Candler for seminary, and then Tuesday I drove to Macon because I had to preach at Macon Wesley, and then Wednesday I drove to Statesboro because I had to preach at my Wesley, and and all that, and driving back and forth to Atlanta in those days. Like yesterday, I couldn't even tell you what 2 + 2 was. I was so exhausted. I mean, I was literally like sitting in sessions and just going, and yeah, it was crazy. But all of that to say, man, I'm super glad it's Friday, and it's my birthday. I'm always indifferent around my birthday, but I'm trying to be more positive and more optimistic around my birthday, and not, kind of have like this like fatalist, just doomist, like, man, wow, what have I not done with my life kind of attitude. So I'm actually really excited for today, mainly because I get to go back home and see my wife. Like, that's probably the biggest thing. Like, I miss Kat a lot. But yeah, it's been a really good week. It's been really refreshing, and in a lot of ways, in a lot of places, probably healing as well. So I've been blessed this week. I had a lot of apprehension, but I think I've been more at ease, and just kind of allow myself to just be in a moment and be present. So I'm looking forward to this academic year, and just hoping to do well, but also, continue to grow in my walk as well. So yeah, all in all, looking forward to it, and depending on how the rest of this day goes, you might see some more. So you'll just see, or you'll just have to wait. Either way, we'll see.
I don't know. You have to look it afterwards and see. Something Avengers.
I'm really excited for this icing.
Honey.
Do it.
Okay, you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Catherine Howard. Happy birthday to you.
I think I did on purpose.
I'm a vlogger.
How old do you think I am?
Are you 29?